Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna hop on Instagram really quick and Insta story this to let some of our peeps know, our Insta peeps know that we're on here, because I forgot to do that before we went live, because that's how I roll. But
multitasking, yes. Mama.
What are you guys up to tonight? Obviously hanging out with us, getting some Christmas inspiration. I decided to join Patty, crash one of her live ornament tutorials. Mm-hmm. She's been going solo for a while now, and she's been having so much fun doing it. I decided to join the party, join the fun. So here we are.
So if you're just joining us, as you get on, we'd love for you to say hello and tell us if you are doing any Christmas crafts. If you're looking for inspiration.
Mm-hmm. We're on a very tight budget for Christmas year, so I've been doing scrolling through Pinterest, trying to come up with like unique ideas. I try not to just be like, it's the same as when you go buy gifts. I feel like you can just spend money for the sake of spending money and like, look, I bought you something. Or you can be really like thoughtful and intentional. And so I think the same goes with homemade. Like you can just be like, I handmade it, so there's your present.
I made you a toilet paper roll candy holder.
Exactly. And the person like sugar-free diet, you know. So yeah, it's like I'm trying really hard to like go through the ideas but actually be like really thoughtful. I forgot my wedding ring, guys. But be really thoughtful about like finding ideas that I can do that are very budget friendly, that I can put my like pour a little bit of my heart into, but it's also gonna be something that I actually can appreciate. Because whether it's handmade or store bought, I'm like, I don't like it. If it's a gift I don't care about, I'm like, now there's pressure. I re-gifted one time in my life. I re-gifted something somebody made me because I didn't really like it, but I knew somebody who'd love it. They would have never met, except my mom threw a going away party for me. That's when I was getting off to college. Yeah, both people came. And of course, the one friend it was a pair of earrings, wore them to the party. And the other guy was like, oh, nice earrings. Where'd you get them? She's like, thanks. Katie gave them to me. Yeah, so I don't re-gift anymore. But then it makes that pressure of like, now what do I do with this? I don't want to re-gift and get in trouble. But I also don't want to have my house piled up with junk. So tonight, if you don't know who we are, before we dive in any further, we are the Rustic Girls. My name is Katie. Hello. And this is my mom, Patty. We co-own Rustic Redemption here in Granite Falls, Washington, which is a great gifts, antiques, and home decor shop. What? Am I slouching? No. You're making me... Oh. She's a little conscious, ladies. Here in Granite Falls, Washington, it's antiques, home decor, some gifts. Yeah, and we're also getting ready in January to launch the Barn Loft, which is something we hope to launch this fall, and it just wasn't able to happen with everything, which is an online community for women where we will do tutorials, and really it's about educating and empowering and uplifting other women to create beautiful homes, to live intentional lives, and to really pursue their creative dreams, whatever you've always wanted to try, but you thought, oh, I can't do that, or I don't know how to do that, or I wish I knew somebody who knew how to do that.
You can.
You can, and you do now. If we don't already know how to do it, we're going to be learning on our own, and we'll also be bringing in guest teachers. So it's going to be really cool. We're really excited for that. Just creating that sense of community amongst women that I think is lacking in sometimes in our lives. We just feel lonely. So we're excited for that. But because we couldn't launch it, we decided we're going to do a ton of tutorials and fun stuff over the winter months. It's just kind of sharing it with you. All of it's being marked with hashtag The Barn Loft. So if you're curious about what The Barn Loft's going to be like, you can search our page, The Barn Loft, and that should pull up all of it. So you can kind of get a feel for what kind of things are going to go on in there. And so tonight, Patty's been doing a ton of different ornaments. But tonight we're doing ones. They're just going to be miniature wreaths. Miniature wreaths. So I've pre-made some of these and we're going to decorate them. But I'm also going to show you all different styles. And we're also going to show you kind of how you get it started and how you finish that base. Watching on break. Hi, darling. I need to call you, actually. I keep forgetting. Yes. Okay, so to start, I don't have scissors.
Oh, well.
I tried so hard to be prepared. So these are
easier
made
when
out
there's
of...
two of you, though.
It is a lot
It's
easier
hard
too.
when you're just one.
These are made out of mason jar rings. So you can tell there's two different sizes going on. The little guys, the bigger guys. They don't have to be pretty. That's the nice thing. And I know that you can always find them at yard sales, especially the ones that are kind of roached out and rusty.
This is a great way for, most people I know that they reuse their rings and their jars over and over and over. But eventually, they need to be retired. And this is a great use of the retired ones. So there's actually a lot of really cool.
A ton of cool projects for these guys. So we're just tying my base string. This is just plain old jute twine. Craft store, hardware store, get this anywhere. And I'll show you some of the other bases in a minute. And then you would estimate, it's really eyeballing it on how much you'll need to do the entire thing. Once you do a couple of them, you kind of start to get the hang and the feel for what that looks like, for how much you'll need to wrap all the way around.
And if you don't have enough,
you can always not.
Yeah.
Because it's rustic, guys. So yeah, there's definitely like some of the yarn ones where I tied a little more yarn so I could finish my project. So I'm just doing...
Hi, Diane. I love it. I
did with old shower curtains. Yes, same idea. And I love that you're reusing.
Repurposing. New life for lost treasures.
So I'm just starting my version of a yarn ball. And if there's anyone who does any kind of crocheting or knitting, I'm sure they'll tell me I'm doing it all wrong. But I wrap it around my fingers, because when you're working with strings of any length and you're looping around, they just get knotted. Mm-hmm. So we'll just quickly...
I'm not a yarn girl, and I was playing with this project, and my first befuddlement was I had the whole skein of yarn, and I'm like, wait a minute, how am I going to wrap this?
You're listening while you drive home. Shh. Don't be watching. I want you to make it home safe, but you can listen. But yeah, so I've rolled it up so it's easy to work with, and you're just going to go around, feeding it through, keeping it tight. I found it's easier to just not, instead of trying to stress about like lining it up, do a few loops. See, they're kind of all apart. I smush them together, and then I keep going.
Clever.
And so you'll sit and do that. This is also great if you're going to make a chunk of these. I was thinking, I'm all about, especially around Christmas time, I'm all about Hallmark movies. So like I've got like currently 12 on my DVR. And
I'd probably have about the same.
Because you never have time to watch them. So
well, I only have this certain window of time
that they're showing.
Yeah.
I have to watch them over Christmas break. I will watch them on Christmas break. So just sit and loop and loop and loop. I've got one almost completely done.
Who else can't just sit and watch
a movie?
Have to have something going in your hands, working on something, multitasking. Anybody? Or
facepalm emoji. You know what's funny is growing up, my mom, you used to always like sit home. If you didn't have something in your hands, you'd go to sleep.
Yeah, I did. I still do.
Yeah. And you would always sit down, and I'm like, why can't you just... And I try to be intentional about like family movie time, like when it's like a special night, to be more present and not like... I've seen memes about like my kids having memories of watching Moana while I scroll through on my phone. And I'm like, I want to be present. I don't want my kids to always remember me being disengaged, like just because it's not what I wanted. I'm not going to engage with it. But when I'm like just sitting and relaxing, I'm never relaxing. That's mom life. So to finish, I'm looping really
mom
slowly.
Life never ever really ends. No matter how old your kids get, no matter how old your grandkids get,
you'll still be there. Good ones.
You still are taking care of all the things. Can I get a witness?
Okay. This is what happens when you badly roll your yarn ball. It's making it really hard to finish this. Well, if your yarn gets tangled, I recommend throwing the entire project away. Starting over. Now. Little bit of patience. Get this bad boy finished.
That's what I did last night.
It's true.
It's true.
You're looking at it going,
I couldn't figure out how to get the whole, and so I'm like, okay, so I gotta like take some off. Only, see, because I'm not a yarn girl, I didn't know
cut off a
about this
huge
fancy
chunk.
little thing
Create a
of
little roll.
making a little ball. So I just had this big long thing, and I'm trying to wind it through, and it's getting more and more tangled. And I'm a saver, I'm miserly, so I'm trying to get it untangled so that I can salvage this yarn. And I finally went, you know what? I just don't have enough life in me to fight this. So I went snip, snip, and threw it in the trash.
It's not worth it. Okay, so you're done. You got a couple options. If you want to use hot glue to finish it off, you can definitely do that. That would work. You can also just kind of knot it up a little bit and create a little knot. If you do that, just tucked in on the inside, like that, no one's ever going to see it. So, non-issue. All right, so we trim that. So that is how you start and finish. This works the same for yarn. This is jute. That's yarn. The other one I wanted to show you before we start embellishing.
Look at this one. This is fancy yarn. This
dual
is
color.
So that's
one color.
It's gonna really show.
Might have to get a little bit lower. That's whoa. Blimey.
In your face. Okay, that one's all solid. Can you see
two colors, white and ivory.
Yeah.
So we've started one with these little guys. Where did you find these?
I got these at either I think I might have got them at a craft store. It was either Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and they're like a cellophane pack, and I
Like
can't remember what they're called. They're like,
what's that thing called?
you can get them like at the dollar store too, but I will say I feel like for most of the projects I've used them on, it's worth it to pay the extra couple dollars at the craft store. The ones at the dollar store are
apart and don't feel as good.
They don't look as
so. It's usually worth what you pay for.
But they're just like little.
They're like those.
It's almost like a pipe cleaner.
Yeah, it's a pipe cleaner of garland.
But it's the good
so
stuff.
I've started wrapping. So with that, I'm tucking my first part in on the inside there. Whoops, flipping off the camera. So that it just, you don't really notice that start or that end. And then you're just wrapping it around. So you could do this with regular pipe cleaners. In fact, I think that would be a fantastic, like for my daughter wanted to do the yarn, but she got really, she's 5.
That'd be great.
And she got bored
to make it more
after like
kid
5
friendly.
minutes. Yeah, because it's a lot more involved with yarn. The pipe cleaners fill up the ring faster. So I feel like if you got like some fun colored pipe cleaners, some holiday feeling ones, or do red and white, like peppermint.
Ooh, got candy cane stripes. I like it.
So I think that would make it super kid friendly. And look at that. So that's all it takes to do those.
How stinking cute is that? It's like a little miniature wreath.
It's literally a little miniature evergreen wreath. And then now we're going to talk about embellishing. This is the best part. So you've made your wreaths, and then lastly we'll attach the hangers, which will be fun. So I was looking, so we did this one, and it's just got some berries tucked in, which I was going to show you guys, and then forgot how I did. Didn't forget how I did it. I forgot to show you.
These were just a little pack. If you go in the like Christmas craft area these were at Hobby Lobby, but they all have them. And there's lots of little like miniature trees and little miniature wreaths, and there was a bunch of these and little bells.
Tons of embellishments. So these ones specifically, you can incorporate, because they've just got kind of a red bead at either end, by just kind of twisting around a couple times and then wrapping around it. I did this one where I clustered it. I'm going to do kind of a wreath with a funky side piece there, kind of more glam, I guess. So that I kind of bent them all so they're clustered together and then wrapped around really well. So that's kind of how you incorporate those. We've got ourselves a tray of embellishments. Those of you who took the gnome workshop, you recognize these. They are the same embellishments we used for the gnomes. Slight plug for the gnome workshop this next week.
So how about for? It is a week from
Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Week from Thursday. A lot of fun. But we've got bells. We've got rusty bells. So if you want to go super rustic, which I think we will do on some of these. We've got leaves, some sequins, some stars.
So, and how...
Berry clusters.
You know, one way to... so like these leaves, I just went to dollar store and bought some of their florals, which aren't always, you know, the most pretty for doing like floral things.
Actual floral arrangement.
But they had some like kind of foam berry things, and so like these we just cut apart and used. And then same with the leaves. I just pulled the leaves off.
They blend in nicely. When you're just using one or two, you don't notice the cheap factor. And I think so, yeah. And so that's, I think, huge because it keeps these really affordable. So I was thinking, though, I was looking at this one, this cluster of berries, and I was thinking what would be really cute is if we just kind of wrapped the garland around on this one. So maybe you want to, I brought a second one over because you probably need two to kind of wrap, spiral around the whole thing. So it's, you know, the best part about the embellishments is it's really totally up to you. It's totally up to the vibe you're trying to create. Yeah. I mean, you're doing it right, in my opinion, anyway.
No, I was... It felt like
there's no right or wrong way, but she's doing it the right way.
It just felt like I switched the angle or something, and so I was like, what did
That's
I
right.
do? Now, do you hook them together, or do you just kind of...
Well, this was just something I came up with right before the live, so there's no wrong way to do this, guys. I'm going to shift you a little bit so you can see her a little bit better, too. So
I'm going to kind of just twist those.
Yeah, kind of twist them together. So yeah, there's really no rules. It's about what makes you happy, what you think is beautiful. If you're making this for a friend, you know, if you're making, you could embellish these with, I noticed that, not this tray, but the other tray had like a little tiny key charm. So you could get tiny like beads or charms that fit. If you have a friend who loves baking, or if you have a friend who loves sewing, you could make them a tiny ornament wreath of whatever they're into. So I think it's super fun. Might trim it or tweak the spacing, or.
So I'm gonna twist it together, but because we use these for the gnomes, I'll try it with the scissors. I had my wire
snips,
but you know, as long as they're not your fabric scissors, it's okay. You can cut just about it.
You can get anything with fabric scissors too until you can't cut fabric.
So that just kind of added
a little bit of another dimension to that. So I think maybe this one, I was thinking would be nice to use like a green leaf.
And you could equally like hot glue like buttons or...
I was thinking we would do like that. So it's a bit of that holly and ivy going on. And I've got my handy dandy hot glue gun. I was actually almost prepared tonight.
Does that need more glue or?
No, it should be fine. Hot glue gun, my friends. It's hot. Be very careful. And you don't need a whole ton. If you use a ton of hot glue with fake florals, it darkens the floral, like, so you can see it. No, it drives me. It looks tacky. It drives me nuts. So we're gonna just put a little sploop, splippity sploop. The nice thing about only using a little bit too is you only have a little bit of strings to pull off later. So that one's just like a very simple holly and ivy cluster going on. I'm not sure about these green ones. Do you have any vibes going on for the green ones?
Swipe the comments to the right on accident.
Yeah, you can. That's something you brought up the other day.
Yeah, we were talking about that because I was having a hard time getting you guys to see what I was doing. So yeah, you can
swipe right and get rid of those
I can't
comments.
because then I can't see what you're saying to me.
Yeah,
but you can totally do that. You can just
swipe right, Dad. What? If you what?
If you just like, or you know,
what about putting
swipe
some
away
berries?
that noise?
Maybe some berries on the.
That's fine.
You maybe want to. Do you have any inspiration going on here for the other ones? Bells stuck together. We've got bells. Might be fun to do some jingle bells. Oh, here's the key charm I was talking about. Not throw it. See? So you could do lots of little. In fact, I might embellish one with this. I'm just going to use the jute because it's what I got. You could use clear fishing line if you really didn't want it to show. That's not long enough.
See, guys, but it's hard to see.
Put it on there. Oh,
little stars. They're not.
Oh, that's
they're
cute.
not really attached yet. They were just laying
That would
there.
be really cute, I think, to do one of those starry.
I'm kind of. I think I'm gonna pass on the hot
glue.
glue. On that tiny of a little thing.
So she's pulling out another option. So if you've got something super tiny that you need to attach and you don't want to use hot glue because you like having your skin on your fingers. Aren't that green one's so cute, Diane?
So many little craft project tubs everywhere. I don't know where anything is.
And we're just going to tie. I really like doing the lopsided wreath, so I'm going to tie this.
Tacky glue.
If you're like me, you hate tacky glue because it's a ton of work to get out of the jar.
Once you get it going, it's
I'd rather give up the skin on my fingertips.
not for something. These are tiny. Like, try getting a dot of glue on that without scalding yourself.
So we've attached my key charm.
Love the green ones. I know. Those are so cute. Well, we were talking about that and trying to figure out what we could use. And then I went, hey, we've got these from that other project. Now I need to go get some more, though.
Ugh. It's not one of my better decisions.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm attaching, with jute, I've attached my key, and I'm attaching a little bell, and I feel like it needs a pop of red, so I think I'm going to end up using a little bit of these. You can hear this. My 5-year-old's going potty singing. It's the most wonderful time of the year. So I'm going to tuck in my red berries. I think I'm going to do a couple of these because I just want 3. I like odd numbers. I think odd numbers are. She said, Kristen, these are cute too. Thank you for sharing with your friends. Sharon is Karen. So I've twisted together. I think just aesthetically, it's pleasing to the eye to do odd numbers. Unless you're going to be like, what's it called? Where stuff's all balanced. Symmetrical. So unless you're going with a symmetrical look, going with clusters of 3 or 5 is a good, safe bet. And if you're liking more the neutral, I think it's fun to do occasional pops of color. My husband is not a big fan of the like super farmhousey vibe. Like Joanna Gaines' home is his worst nightmare. Because it's all
like
white
that
and
one
neutral.
episode where that guy
came to her home and then he's like this, I don't like this in her home.
You're not doing this to, yeah.
But I mean that's what she needed to know. But yes, so you know I think it's nice to add pops of color in, which is it kind of helps balance things out and make it a little more eye-catching. Pew, pew, pew. And I'm singing to myself because
yeah, these are
that's what you do this time of year.
tricky little buggers.
Pew, pew.
Okay, who's listening to Christmas music? Like, that's pretty much all I listen to now.
Husband complains.
Did you know Hallmark? If you watch Hallmark Channel, you know this because they've been running the commercials. They have their own music channel on Sirius XM radio. So if you have a car that has Sirius radio, so I had it, but then we didn't want to pay for it anymore, so we canceled it. But once a year, at Christmas time, they put it out for free, and you know I'm on there.
That's funny, I didn't know that. See, I
was switching between Holly and the Hallmark one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But in the shop, I'm mostly doing, when you're here, it's, I've got like I've been getting a lot of good feedback.
I know. Everybody else is in the jazz vibe except me and my husband.
Watching Hallmark movie too.
Yeah.
What's your favorite new one this year? What's your favorite? I don't care if it's new or not. Is there one that you like every year you look forward to watching again and again?
Baby, what did I say about being down here? Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones though. You know what I haven't watched that I love is the one where Danica McKellar is. You want to wave? Do you want to say hi? No. She is a maid.
Yes.
And she ends up going and becoming basically a tutor. It's not a tutor; it's a different word for like in some made up country, for a prince's daughter. His wife had died, and he has this little girl, and she basically headmistress type thing, and that is one of my favorite ones of all time. I haven't seen it. I need to look it up and see if I record it.
The Christmas card, that's one of my favorites. I actually finally bought that one about 3 years ago. And I was very anxious to get that one recorded this year because all my DVDs are boxed up somewhere buried in storage. So I'm having to try to record them. Christmas at the Palace was a super cute one done this year.
I don't think I've seen that one. I don't think I've seen a ton of new ones this year. I recorded I pretty much like everything with Lacey Chabert because I just love her and I could watch her all day. Even when she was in Party of Five. That was her, right? Which I wasn't really allowed to watch. Well, you watched 90210. I'm pretty sure she was Party of Five. Wasn't that her? Or was it
I'm not sure. I do remember her.
It's a Wonderful Life and Deck the Halls. I've never seen Deck the Halls, but I love It's a Wonderful Life. You can't go through Christmas without seeing it. But yes, so her in it's called Pride, Prejudice, and Christmas or something.
Oh, see, I haven't watched that one yet.
And that one was actually pretty cute, which anything that takes on Pride and Prejudice, I'm like, we'll see. But that one was cute.
I also like...
It was her in Party of Five. Thank you, Nicole.
What is that? A Very Merry Mix-Up? It's with the other... oh, shoot. She's a redhead.
Oh, yeah.
And she...
Oh, that's a cute one. Which is funny because I don't really like the lead guy in that one, but that one's a cute one.
Yeah.
She is going home to her fiance's family.
Yeah.
And runs into a guy who happens to have a brother with the same name as her fiance.
Yeah.
So she ends up at their house. You're so funny. So I've got this one. I'm going pretty simple. I've got a jingle bell, some red berries, and a key. So this is like a super natural, I don't know, low-key one. Where are the keys? There's just one key, babe. So let's see. We've done that one and that one.
You're going to fall, darling.
I know. She's running it. Can you get down, babe? That's a little too high. It's not very safe. I think we need to use I need to go rustic with this one. I think the rustic one should be the green.
Trying to decide if I like it just a little bit on one side or if we should just deck this thing out.
I think maybe trail one or two, and maybe go a little bit heavier right there. That's what I think.
I'm really tall.
You are really tall, but you're making me scared you're going to fall, and I'm trying to craft with hot glue and stuff. I don't want you to get hurt. No, I'm not. So I'm going to use...
You know what else would be really cute on this? And a way to personalize this? I was working on...
What was I?
What
you're going to get people hurt.
Oh, let's see. Diane was watching last week, and I was working on something else, and she suggested old jewelry.
Yeah.
And what a way to, like, again, add something like that if you have some broken or old jewelry. Great embellishment, and if it... I mean... I have, like, a whole collection of pins. I have a bunch of Christmas pins. I'm just thinking, is there some way you could incorporate something like that and make it a cute ornament?
You could. I think if you center it, because like this one where I just put the star up to one side, I bet you could do that with the brooch or something. Kind of center up the side, which would be a really special way. Like, I think about some... Baby girl, can you back up a little bit, please? Because you're making me tip my back weird. Not combined with the baby belly. It's making my back hurt. So I'm going to step down. You can stand here, but get down with the chairs. Yeah. Because you're not obeying. That's going to get you in trouble. So, what was I saying?
A brooch.
That's my grandma's old jewelry. It's nothing special. It's just costume jewelry and stuff. But I want to get rid of it. So I've got this baggie that I'm like, I don't know what to do with. And I've seen some projects, but I think that could be really special to do different things like that. So seasonally, like, you bring some of those pieces out and they kind of remind you of loved ones who have already went before us. Yeah, see, like that. But then maybe put like one here and one there. I'm a little bit bossy. Don't mind me.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, my creative juices are starting to kind of not tap out. I'm just
they need a nap.
they need a nap. I didn't pace myself very well. I've been kind of running a race here.
Lorelai and Lene, go play or go upstairs.
They need to be refueled. And you know what? Sometimes this is the way to get refueled, even when you're not feeling creative.
Quiet time being creative.
Yeah.
Especially with a friend.
Yeah. Something simple, not a high pressure one, not one that's like, oh, it has to be. For me, sometimes it's painting. You know, something that's an easy project.
What do you guys think about? Now let me tie it so I can show you.
With that.
Yes, I think it's cute. Show them. What do you all think about that?
Yeah.
Wreathy.
I feel like it's hard to see.
A little bit. There you go.
Wonder if I put.
Yeah, back it with something dark.
That just gets better. All right, let's try that. Oh, there we go. Sort of. Sorry. Seems like it's too bright up there.
Oh, there's a lot of lights.
So, just kind of a cluster-ish.
Look at that.
Ooh, wow. That is my kind of rustic.
Very primmed. What do y'all think? I've got the bells. I'm going to say about having the bells hanging in the middle there. You can see earrings where you've lost one. Genius. That's a good idea. Diane just said, use earrings where you've lost one because they're lightweight and you have nothing else to do with them. And especially your favorite ones. I have the earring, I'm terrified to admit, my wedding earrings. My kids kept getting in my jewelry box for a period of time, and I finally moved them all. I got rid of the jewelry box because that was hopeless. And I noticed, I went in the drawer the other day and I was looking for them, and there is only one of my earring that I wore to my wedding.
Oh boy.
Since that was 5 years ago, I probably can't secretly replace it.
Didn't your husband buy you those?
Yep. So, that would be a great way to use it, though. Just don't tell him that I...
Honey, I made a special ornament for you.
He won't even notice.
It's to celebrate our life together.
I made the sacrifice. Divided up my pair of earrings because I definitely didn't lose one.
That's a great idea. And I have a ton of single earrings because I got my ears pierced. Well, I did two, and then I did a third one. Long story, but anyways, I had one oddball hole that on one side, and so I was using all my random ones that I had lost. They were my little filler for that extra hole. You know, I would coordinate them. Now I don't. I'm lucky if I put one pair. So I do have some.
All right. What do you think, guys? Ding-a-ling. My little primmed out. I'm trying to decide if it needs just a little bit of berries, or should I just leave it the way it is, though? What do y'all think? A little bit of berries? What do you think?
I would maybe snip off one or two, maybe, and tuck it in just to give it a little bit of color.
So I feel like it's just a little too just dark and rusty.
I feel like this one would be prettier with the other color. I feel like the white's too stark.
All right, so I'm going to use tiny dots of blue for this. In fact, I might just use the tacky glue. Somebody posted the other day about how Hallmark movies, they're like, I'm watching a Hallmark movie, but I don't know if I like them because they're predictable and you always know how it's going to end from the beginning. And I like stuff that's a little more like based on true stories. And I just felt like I couldn't even join in the conversation because I just felt like if you're saying that about Hallmark movies, you obviously like that's literally the point of Hallmark movies. We watch them because we know the ending from the beginning. So if we miss half of it dealing with our kids, doesn't matter. You already knew what was going on.
It's true.
And like, oh my gosh, do you know how many movies? My husband convinced me to watch. What was that called? Adrift. Spoiler alert, guys. I'm going to spoil this movie if you haven't seen it. So if you haven't seen it, mute me for the next 30 seconds. Because I thought that movie was like one of those based on true stories where they end up happily ever after. It was like perfect storm all over again. Halfway through the movie, you find out he died in the very beginning, and she's just been imagining him. And I'm up late at night watching this movie, hormonally pregnant. I sobbed for a good 45 minutes before I could fall asleep that night. I was like, "You're terrible. Do you know if you end like that?" I want my fake Hollywood endings. I don't want my realistic endings. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I switched to hot glue because tacky glue made me hold it, and I didn't want to hold it. So I don't got time for that.
You switched to hot glue or tacky glue?
I switched to hot glue because tacky glue is hot.
Oh.
Da-ding,
Okay.
da-ding.
Goodness.
So now it's got a little bit of berries, it's got a star, it's rusty, it's very fun. Got a couple more, but I feel like we should probably just show you how to attach the hangers. So those of you who are wondering, and you're like, I got to get back to dinner with my family.
So, I mean, first of all, I mean, it's a ring. So, I mean, you could just hang it on your branch if you really want to.
True story.
But I feel like just a loop of, you know, yarn or, and you can, you know, I think that each one you might want to do a little, this one just felt right. Just kind of an open loop, just hanging and floating there. And it's like the yarn is gripping pretty good. So I don't even feel like I need to put like a dot of glue or anything. And I just tied, you know, a double knot up here, and I just left a little extra and made a little bow. But you could equally wrap it all the way around so it's tied like down secure to your thing.
Which I was going to show you guys. If you take a strand, this is way too long. Fold it in half so you've got that little circle at the top.
Yep.
Make sure your loop goes through the front because the way that the string's going to rest, otherwise it's going to make your thing hang backwards, your wreath. And then just cinch it down. And then you would knot it at your desired length. So you could also hang it like that. Straight up loop. Like you said, you could use hot glue if you want to have it do that traditional like swoopy loopy. But I just feel like it complicates it. You're adding steps that you don't really have to have.
Exactly. I mean, you know, or you could even, you know, if you have pretty hooks that you use, you could just hook it on there.
A bit of wire.
So lots of different options. And like I said, I think, you know, each one is going to have a different vibe.
And you're going to think, this is how this one should be hung. Or this is how this one should not be hung.
So super, super easy and fun one. I mean, and talking about, I'm kind of excited to maybe pull out some pipe cleaners and try that with the girls.
I know.
To kind of simplify it for kids. But lots of different options. That's what I love about some of these is you do the basic part and there's so many different ways you can personalize it and make it your very own and you could crank out a dozen of them and everyone can be a little bit different, you know, for the person you're making
Once you
it
make
for.
the base, yeah. Customization.
So
this one I did feel like, because I had the loop hanging down the middle, it kind of almost needed to feel like hanging the same way. I feel like a strand hanging in the middle would be weird. So I did just use 2 dots of hot glue and attach a hanger. So there's 3 options for how to make a hanger. And we've done, I'll show you which different ones we've done. So we did our basic holly and red berry. Holly and ivy. Holly is the berry, isn't it?
holly and hollyberry. Yeah, there's no ivy there.
There's that one, simple one, but this one's got a charm. A little key, a little bell. Jingles. Oh, thank you. We've got our Primmy one, a little primitive, rusty, festive. This is kind of our all natural. It's just those earthy, the berries and the jute color and the garland. And then Patty over here did the sparkly season one.
Which this is not like, this is more me.
Right.
It's kind of funny. This feels more like you, but it's fun to kind of get out of your groove every now and then and do something different.
And we've got a couple more here already, so we're gonna have to do some more crafting. So this is a lot of fun. Thank you guys for joining us. Do you have any questions? I use green pipe cleaners. I like the rustic look better that you did. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think that, but the green would be really fun. Like, so I think using the pipe cleaners, I think especially for, it'll be kid friendly, and it'll totally fit the vibe of what.
Well, and I feel like,
but I do love this garland
equally
pipe
would be
cleaner.
a good
It's
one
really
for kids. Cool. I mean, I think the colored pipe cleaners would be fun, but same feel, and then they've got a cute little. They can make what a great idea for like grandparents or something. Just saying. Regine, I haven't got to watch your live. I saw that you did your first live last night.
Yay, awesome.
And I saw the little hints about it, but I haven't had a chance to watch it today, so I'm going to try to do that tonight.
When you get home.
Super fun.
If you do have any questions or you're watching us on the replay, thank you for the hearts. Go ahead and ask, and we will do our best to answer them. As always, we do have our YouTube channel now, so I'm going to download this, and I will get it uploaded in the next few days. So you can head over there for those tutorials. But it's a lot of fun. If you're like, these are really cute, but I'm not crafty, or I don't buy it. Everyone can do crafts. But if you don't want to, we will have some of these available for sale. One of them will end up on the ornament exchange tree, actually. So we've been putting one from every project we've done. We put one of them on the ornament tree. So if you haven't participated in your local, you bring in an ornament, you take an ornament, you can leave a little note. You could just take.
We had a couple of people come in and just leave an ornament, and they're like,
I'll be back later.
I'll be back later.
So it's a lot of fun. And so you can always check the ornament tree, see if you can take one home for yourself, and it'll be great. So I think we're going to try to do another tutorial tomorrow.
Okay.
I will be busy all weekend evenings. So, but yeah, tomorrow night, join us again. I think same time, same bat place, same bat channel. And
it's a busy season, and I don't know if you saw our post this morning. Did you do that one this morning about it being the lingering season?
That was today, the lingering season.
I think it is traditionally it's a busy season, and it's easy to feel like, oh, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that. Sometimes it's just intentionally taking that time to say, you know what, I'm just gonna sit and do this.
Even this has been so relaxing. Like, I know, hang out with you guys.
We haven't crafted together in like
a
long time.
Yeah. So I think it's nice just stopping and pausing and being with people. So if you're got nothing else to do, welcome to come hang out with us again. We'll do another fun ornament craft. Be good.
All right.
I hope you guys have a beautiful evening, and be kind to each other.
And we'd love to see if you do these. We'd love to see your pictures. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.